Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Antonio, back with another video today. So yeah, man, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about spells and spell work, the so-called magics of life. Rites, writing, books, just symbols and signs and things that we pick up on visually, or usually in our it's all around us in the laws that we make and the laws that are presented to us or posed to us. Your signature is also a part of it. The John Hancock has always been an important part of history. So it can go from your voice, it can go to the writing in your hand, and it can also go to the blood that flows through your veins. There's just certain kind of knowledge out there that people don't really have an understanding of. So I just wanted to shoot a video real quick today to try to give you guys a better understanding of how to create the world around you and how to manifest these things, how to push the manifestations forward. So you have, of course, what you think, saying you do, things that you can perceive of in your mind. And the more intelligence or the more knowledge you have, the more open-minded you are, the more pure you are able to experience the world in its fullest. Kind of like a child. The child is free. They go out to explore the world. It's when they're most impressionable. That's when they learn the most. So, of course, you have to have a knowledge of a knowing, or have to be able to express your mental thoughts in a certain way. Of course, speaking, we like to debate and argue a lot. There are so many languages on this planet that helps us communicate or get across what we are thinking, our ideas, what's in our soul essence. Sometimes we say things and we make people feel good. Sometimes we could say things, we can make people feel bad. We have comedians, we have motivational speakers out there. We have all types of orators and teachers that have to speak over a class, professors and things like that. So the voice is a very powerful instrument. Sometimes it can be more powerful than the pen or the sword. It can inspire people. The dragon in mythology blows fire with its breath. It's not for cartoon sake or mythology reason. The dragon or dinosaurs or the reptilians were always a part of the dominant species on this planet, whether it was through their ability to regenerate. We all know reptiles can regenerate lost limbs and things like that. Cold-blooded creatures for the most part. But back again to the dragons. Dragons were able to fly and things like that. Their voice, the fire came from their throat. That was their voice. So that whole part of manifestation. And then of course you have your hands and everything that you can do with the physical human body that can allow you to do different things and create new things. Again, whatever you thought of in your head, you can splash it onto some pen and pad or whatever structure that you want to build. You can build it with your hands and your feet. Again, a lot of what do you call them? People that do like architects or architecture, I guess. Again, with them having to outline a building, the interior or the exteriors of the building, you learn dimensions and things like that. But yeah, so and then of course there's all different types of magics, but those three principles there, it goes into what we know in today as putting, as in like government and things like that, putting things into motion. Like you have law, the system of law, which everything should be documented, or everything is documented pretty much. All of these, like you can kind of correlate spells to laws, because that's all it really all it really is. If someone creates a law that says, you know, you can't kill people, then you can't kill people. But then again, no one should have to tell us that, you know, we can't kill people. So that's a law. And that law can easily be broken. Anyone can easily snap at any time of the day and just feel like they just want to kill someone. And then, you know, think how long we've been following that law. And then we have other laws like gravity. It wasn't written, but we know that scientists have found a way to reverse gravity and things like that. They have these anti-gravity rooms and things like that. So it's like, who really gets to say what rules and what laws can and can't be broken? It's all in the perception of the mind. I mean, the government writes laws and we all have to follow them. That's another spell. That's pretty much all the government is, and what laws is. It's just spelling, writing down things on paper, getting them passed or stamped by a judge, someone that should have integrity and should stand for equality and justice. And so on and so forth. Everyone's been put under so many different spells that, you know, and then the government doesn't really educate people on, you know, how spells work. They don't tell you that learning to read and write are the most important things for people to learn how to do, and I guess counting as well. And, you know, simple things that are supposed to help move the culture forward have become a detriment. School that's supposed to teach you spells and spelling, you know, they even have people out there that turn real life into little kid stories, like Hogwarts stories and things like that, Harry Potter, and people still don't get the gist of it. You know, Disney, you know, one of the most powerful companies in the world, will keep throwing in their subliminal messaging. So you know, yeah, man. Contracts, you know, it's as simple as contracts. You know, people, when they say you sign your soul away, you're literally, you know, signing, you're signing your life away, whether you're an athlete or you're some type of entertainer, movie star, or whatever the case may be. Even when you're doing business, anytime you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, anytime you put your signature, pen and pad, because that's what the American system has realized, or has governed itself over the last 1,000 years, using pen and pad and writing everything down and creating law and a system, you know, and making sure that there's balance in a sort of way. Balance always shifts. One minute we're worried about women's rights, and then the next minute we're worried about tattoos, and the next minute we're worried about rap music. You know, it's only because there's so many different agendas in this country. You know, it's a melting pot. I don't know why people make these conversations so drawn out and complicated, like they don't understand what's going on in this country. But the more people, you know, come to the understanding of, you know, standing in their truest, you know, authentic self and things like that, I always say that, you know, people that learn how to read and write and do math, and they practice history, and they realize that, or they research history, and they realize that, you know, things tend to repeat themselves, which isn't a bad thing, because that sets a template and a standard for things. But we got a long way to go, man. There's so many different things to learn being a high-level researcher, you know, herbalist and things like that. You know, again, people are so distracted by what's fake. They look at what's real right in front of them, like plants and bugs and animals and things like that, and actual spiritual vibrations and things like that. They don't pay attention to the food they eat. They think that's real food. They think the plastic burgers and french fries at McDonald's, the plastic rice that they eat, they think that's real. But that's it for me. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be safe. You know, again, magic isn't some hocus pocus, jack in a box type thing. It's very practical when you think about it. Rituals and daily habits and routines. Again, rites. Again, planning your life out, writing, or spelling, or spells, or writs. Even cursive. When you write in cursive, it's a curse. That's why they call it cursive. You know, I'll be talking about it more in the future. I'm not gonna expand on it too much. Just wanted to touch on it a little bit. I spoke on it before a couple times in the past, and people are becoming more aware of it. Again, more people are on my social media pages speaking about astrology signs and star signs, and you know, it's kind of a more easier thing to interpret than the Bible. You know, people have been spending hundreds and thousands of years trying to interpret and you know, change up the Bible. And again, you know, the Jesus isn't, you know, God. He isn't the, you know, the one that created everything. Jesus is God's son. Pay attention. You see, you got mad as soon as I said Jesus is not God. Jesus is God's son. Jesus is one of many ascended masters. I'm gonna tell you this really quick before I end this. Yesterday, I walked to the gas station, and on my way there, I saw some lady ministering to some dude who must have just got out of the jail. And I walked past them. I came out of the store, came back, and they were still arguing with each other in the parking lot. You know, she was standing up over him like this, and he looking up her like, you know, I already know I'm this and that. And they both older than me, probably like a 40-year-old dude and then a 55-year-old chick. Like, she was, you know, it was Sunday, so she probably was either on her way to church, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. But I had to stop both of them, and I had to school both of them, and I didn't realize I had that much power and potential in myself. You know, I did, but you know, it's these times where it's like I'm growing more and more and more, and I'm meeting more and new people, and I'm having all these tests that I keep coming across, and I'm like, y'all are both arguing about two different things but the same thing. She's trying to tell him to get off his 2 feet. God had told him to do this and that. And I'm like, yo, listen, God is in. I'm looking at him like, yo, no, like, no disrespect. I'm like, dude, God is in you. God is in you, bro. Like, God wouldn't put you through this situation without giving you an out. People just got to learn themselves, man. But yeah, I spent 10 minutes talking to them, and my little cousin's like, wow, you really schooling these two supposed to be older folks. Man, everybody go through their stuff, man. And happiness is a perception, man. If the man wants to throw his life away for a happy 5 minutes, let him do that. And if, you know, women want to do whatever makes them happy, or anybody wants to do whatever makes them happy, they have to be able to accept or agree to disagree. Yeah, life is what you make it, man. I'm out here breaking up fights with people that's supposed to be spiritual and conscious. I remember last year when I tried to join the conscious community and they tried to attack me. Or what I would perceive as an attack, right? You know, smart people throwing smart shade and things like that. But I don't got time for that. Let me see, I already got my own shade. But anyways, catch you on the next one. Be safe. I'm out.